99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. Weird times to come back from vacation, and this is all that's on your mind, and not like the prosperous new year. It's all the ugliness.
It's tragedy.
It's just awful, and I hope that this is the end of it for a while. It's just so sad.
It's really sad. It's tragic, and my heart goes out to everyone that lost a loved one in New Orleans. Obviously, all the other shootings that have happened, but 15 people just mowed down.
And there are more in the hospital with very bad injuries.
I know.
Thankfully, in Las Vegas, the only dead was the guy who did it. He was 37, right? The guy in the Cybertruck?
Yes. Matthew Livesberger, I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
You go back to the CEO killing, the Luigi thing, and how this guy's an internet star from it.
How did he become, famous overnight?
It's really strange. What, and this is a question for you and also for everyone listening. So far, what's the biggest crime of the century? What, in your mind, is the biggest crime of the century? 470-741-4999. That's our number. Would love to hear from you. 470-741-4999. What's the biggest crime of the century?
I go back to how many docuseries have been about a certain subject, how it's rehashed over so many years. I would have to say the whole Lindbergh baby kidnapping.
No, of this century.
Oh, this century.
Yeah, starting in 2000.
John Benet Ramsey, maybe?
That's 90s.
Oh, of this century.
Starting in 2000.
This century.
Some of the ones you think about. Scott Peterson, that was in 2002. That got a lot of press.
Menendez wouldn't even be, right?
Menendez is 90s. Natalie Holloway.
Yeah,
But is it, the biggest so far? That was 2005. That seems so long ago. How about Casey Anthony?
Casey Anthony, yes.
These are all, hold on, a few people calling in.
OJ, 94.
That's 90. Fram, you're stuck in the other century.
I'm sorry.
Morning X, good morning. Who is this?
Hi, this is Susan from Silverville.
Hey, how are you? Oh,
hello?
You sound like you're in a car. Are you in a car?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. What do you think the biggest crime of the century is so far?
The first thing that came to mind was signing Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I know that there's so many more important issues going on, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. It's just a lot of money, signing an older player coming off an Achilles injury, and I just don't think it was the wisest choice.
That is so funny. We're talking about all these serious crimes. She's like, yeah, the signing of Kirk Cousins. That's it.
I know.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you listening to us.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. If you have one, 470-741-4999. How about Madeleine McCann? Remember the little girl abducted during the family vacation?
One. Yes.
Chandra Levy. I'm just looking through some of these crimes because you can't just pull them out the top of your head.
And you mentioned already Casey Anthony. That was a big one.
That was big, but I think we're leaving out there's a couple major ones that I don't want to say because I want to see what listeners say. How about Elizabeth Smart, abducted from her bedroom? That was 2002.
When was that? Oh, that was 2002.
Amanda Knox, murdering her roommate in 2009.
Aaron Hernandez.
That's a big one.
2000, let me look here, 13.
Some of these mass shootings, like the Virginia Tech mass shooting.
Boston Marathon?
Is that after 2000? That'd be up there if it is.
I think it was.
Andrea Yates, drowning her children. That was 2001.
Awful.
Crime of the century. Crime of the century. What would be the biggest one so far? I mean, there've been so many.
Yeah, the Boston Marathon bombing was 2013.
Hey, Morning X. Good morning. Who is this?
Good morning. This is Chris.
Hi, Chris. Where are you listening from?
I am listening. I'm east of the city. I'm out in Loganville.
Well, we appreciate you out there in Loganville. What do you think the biggest crime of the century is so far?
Ooh, there's so many, but I think number one on my list would have to be Taylor Swift's popularity.
Crime of the century.
Come on.
I know. People have jokes.
Hey, mad props to her for the way she started. I get it, putting your videos out on YouTube and gaining popularity. But, at this point, just because you can charge $1,000 for a crappy seat to one of her concerts doesn't mean you have to charge that much, right?
Yeah, I feel like almost we're doing two different bits here.
Yeah.
Leslie, we're doing
I'm like,
crimes and crimes.
I mean, you don't have to be a fan to realize that she just did like a gazillion shows and played 3 and plus more hours every night. I mean, I got to hand it to her.
Well, that's what I think he's saying. He's like, yeah, hand it to her, but why?
Why?
Well, but in that same respect, I mean, I just saw, there's up and coming artists, Leslie. You've been in the biz a long time, working with artists and everything. But there's up and coming artists. I just saw Billy Strings up in Memphis, and he played for over 3 hours. And I think I paid $65 for my ticket. And that arena was sold out. Now, granted, he doesn't have the popularity that she does worldwide and all that, but that's a crime. I mean, I think her and her marketing team should be brought up on crimes against humanity for that.
Okay.
All right, she's not going to take the bait on that, but no. I hear you. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good day.
We'll have a good one. Bye-bye. Don't make Leslie mad. Okay, let's have some real crimes. 470-741-4999. What is the biggest crime of the century so far? How about Enron, Fram? That was in 01.
What year was that?
01.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
The London 7/7 bombings in 05.
Also, early 2000s, Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook. Oh, yeah. That was early 2000s?
2012, actually.
All right, add to it. What do you think? What is the biggest crime of the century so far? 470-741-4999. This is 99X.
Have something to say or share with the Morning X? 470-741-4999. The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 470-741-499X.
End of message.